Hello everyone. I stumbled upon this library and I wanted to show a little bit about how it works. It's called reactcx. If you've used class names before, there might be a link to it here. Yep, Jed Watson class names. This is a little helper that I use personally in all my React projects. It makes it really easy to set class names on React components. You just set the attributes to true or false, and you can chain any that are required after the first parameter. Here's a bunch of examples. And then in your React, you can just say class name equals whatever this button class is, and it'll add all of the appropriate class names because working with string concatenation is weird and difficult. So reactcx is built off of that, inspired by this CSS_NS thing. And the interesting thing about it is it adds a new known attribute onto all React elements called CX. So this is really interesting, right? You can come up with your own custom React attribute that will be recognized and handled in any way you want. So this just makes the CX thing, instead of having to say, here's my class name, and then use class name, which is recognized by React by default, and passing it in. We now have a new thing that will take care of doing any binding of the class names. This class names bind thing lets you import styles and just bind and get all of your class names at once. So that's a little bit nicer, and you can inline the styles there. But the ideal way is right here with this custom prop name. So how do we make this custom prop? Well, I love this library because in the README it has basically the gist of the source code, which is really cool. It shows how this thing works. So as it says here, in React create element, so you can pull in unprefixed React into your module. You can make a new, this is the new bound thing. So what we're doing is we're binding the styles that are passed in. And then we have this get props function that's going to be called down here when we basically we're really redefining React's create element to handle this get props function, and clone element to use get props. And so get props is our custom function up here, our new function that we created. And if the props has the CX property, we're going to handle it. Otherwise, we're just going to return props. And how are we going to handle it? Well, we're going to do this check if it's array. We're going to bind to any of the arguments that are passed in. So this is all of the class names and handles all of the things the same way that class names would handle them. And then set the class name property and return the result. So instead of CX, we're now returning props that does not have, we're deleting CX and adding class name. So I'm not sure how this works with, if you pass in class name and CX, I'm guessing that what CX will do, oh, here, it just concatenates it on with the empty string. So you can still use class name. You can also use CX, and then you get extra classes tacked on there, which is a little strange. But I thought this was a really cool pattern because what this opens up is a way that you can define whatever you want as a custom prop. You could have some weird, bizarre custom prop that does whatever you want. You could actually overwrite the existing custom props if you want to be malicious and terrible. But yeah, this was a really cool pattern. It looks nice. He's got a lot of tests. So go ahead and check out this reactcx. Maybe pull that into your next project instead of CX alone.